Yo, 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 yo. Guess who's back? I got so many texts coming in, yo. Allow us to reintroduce ourselves. We are the mob. We in the building. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We got a lot to talk about. A lot to discuss. Paul Young had a meeting with the gangs of Memphis. CJ Davis interview. We got that coming up. Jesse Dawson claims his innocence, and we hear from his nephew for the first time since I know of, about the Lester Street. And I want to talk about the domino effect. It's probably not what you're used to hearing, but it's Memphis Over Bull live. Chat Mob, holler at your boy. Let's get to it. I know y'all want to rap on my how you rap, but I ain't rapping. Welcome back. We are back. We are the mob. We stand for something different. The mob is an acronym for Memphis Over Bull. I don't think I made that clear enough. Oh yeah, let me tell y'all about this too, in case you don't know what the mob. Well, the quality right there. Who wants one? Chat Mob, holler at your boy. Y'all been rocking with me this long. Mob Stars hat. Rocking again now. Right? So I had to show that off. Holler at me if you want to get you one. You want to show some support. You want to rep the mob in the streets. We stand for something. Holler at me. Got the cash app right there. We will get that to you ASAP. ASAP. Make sure you hit the like button, everybody coming in. Trying to let everyone who's going to come in gather before we start the stories, start these videos, these news stories. The mayor's been very active. We haven't been. We've been missing for like a week or something. But y'all know, it's not always easy. I'm not seeing it. You know what I'm saying? It's the hood seeing it. All right, so the domino effect, like I said, right? Y'all see those mob dominoes, right? So it's what I thought about, right? And I think it's such a great life analogy. Before we get, this is going to touch on everything that we're going to get into in the stories. But if y'all have any problems hearing me or the background music, like, y'all holler at me, chat, let me know. But domino, such a simple game, right? On the surface, it's such a simple game. I love this game. I learned how to play dominoes when I was 11 years old by men that were 20 years older than me, which y'all might call, the street dudes, the streets they talk. But they played the game at a different level. When I first saw dominoes, I was like obsessed with just numbers. So I'm coming from sports thinking, hey, bro, I can score the most, I win, right? That's the whole idea. From the outside, if you walk by, if you don't play dominoes, you just view this, hey, the high score win. But the game is so much more complicated than that, right? Depends on how you're looking at it. The simple view of things is Okay, 5 here, 5 there. I got the most, I win. But that's perspective, right? The more complicated, the more knowledgeable view of the game. It's way more cerebral than you think, right? They'll allow you to get as much as you want. As much as you want. But anyway, I go, this build up as much money as you want just for someone else to take it. But that's my, I wanted to make this point about, on surface, you can look at a domino move like, okay, let's say the first bone that I lay down, bones are dominoes. I lay down 505, and I get 10 points, right? You're thinking, hey, great, right? That's all I want to do. Another man might not even play a point until the last hand, right? And then he collects all of yours. So his is more strategic. The point is, depending on who you ask, dominoes can be as complicated as you want. Was that move strategic or was it just random? Now, the simple-minded person is always going to think that the move was just randomly made. But the expert knows that it's always a reason behind everything. He's counting your hand. He's counting my hand. He knows how many chip bones on the board. He can lock the board down and take everything away from you just from knowledge of the game. And I think that is the things that we're seeing in Memphis, right? Some of us think these things are just random. Like some domino players. Oh man, he just put down. I'm just trying to eat. I just want to get my 20. I just want to get my 15 points. But in the end, you lose everything to the more strategic player, the more cerebral player who's going to eventually take everything that you have, right? So you can get all the money you want. By the end of the game, the winner takes all. And another thing that hurts you in dominoes, and this is taught me a lot of life, like I said, a lot of lessons about life, brother. That money, all money ain't good money. To say it like they taught me when I was a kid, hey, look, hey, all that money ain't good money. You trying to eat all the money, you're going to end up losing the game due to greed. Know what you're doing to have a reason behind it. You can work, someone else will collect all the dominoes for you. You just want to win the game in the end. And I say that because that's my approach to life. That's how I view things, right? And I think that's the way we view life, like two different perspectives, right? Some people I talk to, I'm like, do you see the things that are going on, right? And we all talk about it. Some people like, yeah, these folks messed up. Then you talk to another mind who understands the bigger picture, that this was all strategic. He laid the big 6 down, knowing that he had 5 other 6s to lock the board down. He didn't want any money. All right, am I being clear? Maybe I'm going, maybe I'm going up. Maybe I'm not. I hope you can relate to this. Even if you don't play dominoes, think about spades. Something you play that seems simple on the surface, but the layers to it makes it much, much more complicated. And I want to say this. I know everybody wants to get to the stories, but I think us talking about these things are better than the news stories that we sometimes go over, right? Over the show. And I'll be opening the phone lines, and I'm telling you, we got a great working interface, right? Somebody gonna test it out tonight. Check my holler. All right, so I said this because I always talk about energy, right? And what are we giving our energy to as Memphis? That's the most important thing as people, but this show's about Memphis. So what is Memphis giving this energy to as a city? And the most energy talk that you hear in Memphis is not about the spiritual energy that I'm talking about, right? Because we're all energy. That's all we are. Forms of energy, right? Negative, positive, it's all energy, right? We're more concerned about the gas bill energy than the actual energy within us, right? And I think life comes down to MLG and W, Memphis like gas and water versus mind, body, and energy. Which one do you value? Which one do you focus on throughout the day? Is it the light bill or the energy within? Because I guarantee you, one leads to another, the other has no connection to the, because I guarantee if you got mind, body, and energy, right, you find out the value of what Memphis Like Gas and Water is pushing. And it won't stress you out as much. We all have, right? It's all about within. That is the main source of energy. Because if that's corrupted, I mean, who cares if the lights are on, the lights are off? Yeah. Seems pretty simple to me, you know. That's just me. But I think the focus is MLGNW, like I said, as opposed to the energy within. All right. Thanks, brother. Thanks, bro. I'm not, look, some people don't like, you know, you can go, we got a lot of platforms that gonna show y'all what crap. We know what we do here, and we try to perfect it here at the mob. And I say we, myself, Chat Mob, my friends, shout out to Run Memphis, shout out to Chantel, shout out to everybody that we just had an event for phase 2. Shout out to all those people and everybody else too. Father's First Initiative. Man, I got so much. We doing so much out here, bro. It's like Dr. Brooks, WLOK. Man, we got a real squad out here, right? And everybody wearing the same t-shirts, everybody meeting of the minds, right? Because we all met thinking and doing the same things that we want. Nobody was forced. Like, hey, you were doing this, I'll meet you at the river. While you're drinking, but I won't drag. So we all met at the riverfront, and it makes it a better relationship. And most of these people, what I talk to, most conversations aren't about Memphis Like Gas and Water, about mind, body, and energy. Mind, body, and energy. I'm telling you, this is just, and now, look, y'all don't know this, but I can see when I'm talking to y'all, I can see myself on the screen. So I'm talking to me. This goes for myself too, but I know what works for me. I think what'll work. And I'm a Memphian, melanated Memphian myself. I think we all can relate. All right, so I had to get those out of the way because that was important. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you do that. All right, so Mayor Paul Young, right? We missed one of these stories a minute. Mayor Paul Young met with the gang members. And I can appreciate it, like I said. That's a step in the right direction. I don't know who they met with. That'll be another question. But I mean, like, one thing I don't want to be is critical of that, anything like that. Meeting, community, you know, the common ground, like we always talk about, those people coming together and speaking with one another. That is important. But there are a lot of other details that were released in this video too. I want to touch on. I want you all to watch it with me. So let's check this out. Paul Young, he gave an explanation as to why and how this went down. And I believe the name is Hill 901. They were involved with, and my folks, 901 Block Squad. They've been mentioned on this show more than just about everybody in Memphis. So they're very, very active. Let's check this out.
We are learning more tonight about the meeting between Memphis Mayor Paul Young and local gang members. But this time, one of the people who helped orchestrate it, WRG's April Thompson, shows us how the sit-down came about and what's next when it comes to fighting crime in Memphis.
We can't have conversations about how to help individuals without including them in the conversation.
Darrell Cowan is talking about the first sit-down conversation between Memphis Mayor Paul Young and local gang members.
The mayor spoke on it, and we pressed play.
Cowan's Hill 901 nonprofit was instrumental in making the meeting happen at the request of the mayor.
Doing violence intervention and prevention work, it's easy to be in contact with these individuals. And what we found out is that, they were not hesitant with meeting with the violence intervention and prevention work.
one nonprofit was
Okay, I had to take that back. That wasn't the video. Y'all. I wanted to say something.
instrumental in making the meeting happen at the request of the mayor.
Doing violence intervention and prevention work, it's easy to be in contact with these individuals.
Okay. So Hill 901, they're active. They're with 901 Block Squad, so they got an idea of the people in the community. They're reaching out to people. Like I said, the nonprofits are doing that thing. Because I witnessed this myself. So they had an idea of who was already in charge of a lot of things. Allegedly, is what he said, right?
And what we found out is they were not hesitant with meeting with the mayor. And once again, this was not something that was a negotiation. It was, hey, we got to do something about crime. I need a 7-day ceasefire. What would it take to bring to your community to prevent these things from happening?
He says the 2-hour meeting included more than 15 gang members.
It is different gangs, but due to the fact that me, as well as my brother from Delvin Lane from 901 Block Squad, we communicated on who we're bringing to ensure that there's no true rivals in the space to where that they can be able to have their conversation safely and freely.
So, you made them an offer, right? What do you want? I don't think our people you're trying to help really know what they want at this point. I wouldn't ask them. That's just me. I do a lot of studying on this stuff. I wouldn't ask them. I would try to figure out a way to get them to a point where they love themselves. All right. So the first key is to find out who doesn't love them. Just you can look at these things and try to figure out, could I get them to realize that they don't love each other? And now, when we teach that, right? Self-love now you ask that person, okay, that person you love, who is you? What does that person love to do? Right? And then they understand that. That's what I feel like. I mean, you give them that, you give them that's passion. Now they have passion. Money doesn't matter to those who have passion. You love what you're doing, you figure out what it is you feel like you're born to do. Ask anybody say, I was born to do this. They don't give a damn about money. If they love to row canoes up the river and that's their dream, people that love this, they don't care about the money. So I think to allow asking someone, what do you want, who doesn't really know what they want, is only going to lead them to more corruption. Let me chat my idea. Y'all hear me? That's what I'm saying. Right? I think you got to get the wheels rolling in the right direction first, then ask, hey, how can we help you now? How can we help better you? Because you're already better now. This is my.
That's important.
He says the gangs want solutions too.
These people are humans. And don't think that they want to be out here. Sometimes the things that you see is a cry for help. See, when we talk about mental health and things of that nature, typically that's not a conversation until we see a situation that's happened. We got to get in front of these things. We have to. And the only way you're going to do that is hearing from them directly.
It's the kind of work that Hill 901.
Yeah, I feel like that many things that we're saying are cry for help. I don't think they're crying for help. Like I said, I think it's more of a misunderstanding of oneself. I don't think they really want help. I think some people think that they're happy with this right. I don't think it's like, help me, I'm hurting. I don't know, I don't have any. I think they know what they want to do. You just gotta give them a better purpose. I think they lack purpose. An idle mind is a devil's playground. They lack purpose. That's it. It's not about money. It's not about programs. Self-love and purpose. That's it. That name we do.
Was founded on in 2018, offering training, resources, and mental health services to those in need.
They want mentorship. They want prosperity. Guys, they are committing these crimes for funds. They're not doing it just for fun. It's for funds.
That's another thing. Do we agree with that, chat mob? Do we agree that, I understand, I do say that poverty and crime go hand in hand. You find one, they do. But talking to people, I'm like, this is not a community that I don't know, right? Is it for fun? When I talk to the real, that ain't what it is. Like, we were broke too. So we can't just say that we're still broke. What I'm talking about, broke too. We're still broke. Everybody's broke. So it's not about money. And what is broke anyway, bro? You gotta just remove that because you're tying yourself to money. I feel like. And that's an easy cop-out for somebody to say, oh, they ain't got money. So you gonna give them money? So is it ever gonna be a time where everyone on the planet has money? Never. That's always gonna be somebody broke. So we can't fix everybody with that. There are some things that we all have that are more valuable than money. That's all I'm saying. But you keep giving them excuses like, and I'm not attacking this brother because I want to touch on what Hill 901 said and what they stand for too. I'm for them. These are the conversations we gotta have. This is what the mob is for. This is Memphis over bull. We can't just talk about what you used to hearing people talk about and hearing it the way that you used to hearing it. We gotta talk that real.
Calvin says the 7-day truce the mayor called for did happen, but you didn't see a total cease on crime because not all of the gangs are at the table yet.
But we have to be clear on this. You're talking about the city of Memphis has over 40 different gang fractions. So having 15 individuals and some of those from the same organizations in the space is not going to lead to the immediate citywide 7-day ceasefire. It's a start.
Calvin, who is co-chair of the city's public safety task force, says it's going to take everyone offering alternatives to young people.
We're consistently working. We're working aggressively. But we still need more. We need more volunteers. We need more help. We need more support.
April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
Cowan tells us another meeting has already been scheduled with the hopes of bringing even more gang members to the table.
Yeah, I like the mindset. But Hill 901, I looked them up. They're active, very active. It was founded in 2018 by Darrell Cohen. They're located. They got their offices on Airways, and they have several programs they offer. One is like safe bars for restaurants, and places that serve like breweries or whatever. And they try to make the environment safe. I think that Paul Young is working with Darrell Cohen for the security budget or something they've added. It's after the task force. I believe he's over, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to say anything that I'm not 100% sure, but he's working directly with the mayor. And they have athletes as leaders. They help high school girls establish healthy relationships and discussions about stereotypes, rumors, and beauty standards. And then they have cure violence, uses a public approach to interrupt gun violence, change norms that cause it. Coaching boys to men, it's kind of like the same thing for the girls, but it's the boys and the male coaches over the basketball players and athletes in the school. And they have shifting boundaries, and that helps the kids set boundaries. That's focused, targeted towards the middle schools, right? And community outreach, of course, you know what that is. So it's I like it. I like it. We got a lot of nonprofits, like I said. I see y'all. I see it helps to get, let me holler, this read a few comments from the chat caught my attention. It helps to get these brothers thinking about taking responsibility on how they can positively impact their community. Yeah. And it's all about rich energy. Of course. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, in these times, the value of energy. We know how much a light, gas, and water bill is going to be. It's about to be hot outside. We know y'all bill is going to be high. Y'all going to be complaining about it. We know y'all going to be complaining about that. But what about your own energy, right? Where is that going? We know it can't be destroyed. but it can be stolen. All right, let's think about that one. I'll elaborate on that one. It can't be destroyed. It can be stolen. Bunch of stolen energy out here. Bunch of idle minds out here. You know what I mean? All right. So, speaking of idle minds. Now, I didn't want to get to this story, but it's very relevant to Memphis. This is probably the most tragic thing that's happened in the last 25 years. And that's hard to say because there's been a lot that happened in this city, but Leicester Street always rubbed me wrong. But the reason why I shared the story is that it's the first time that I heard from the young man that was that survived it, that pointed out Jesse Dotson as the man who killed his family. So it was just, I never heard him and his sister talking about it so open about the night that it went on. I just blown away by it. It was something, this is Memphis over Bull, and this was definitely the Bull right here. And it's something that we really want to get past, but we got to talk about it. It's very, very relevant. So, Jesse Dotson claims that he's innocent of the Leicester Street killings. Let's check it out.
So where is there more to say? Kill him. Get him gone off this earth. He's a monster.
The niece of Jesse Dotson, filled with anger. Dotson is serving time on death row for killing 6 people, including multiple family members and children in 2008.
I walked in there, I seen him holding a gun, a revolver. I know what it was. And he was shooting my dad in the face.
Jesse Dotson's nephew, CJ Dotson, was there. He was only 9 years old at the time.
I was his first child victim he started on. Before he went to my brothers and them, he started on me first. So when I looked him in his face, you know, I told him I loved him. He had his pocket knife like this in his hand and was looking at me with, you know, a little tear in his eye, but he had the little evil look on. Like, and he sliced me across the throat.
He says he tried to call 911, but dropped the phone when he saw his uncle.
Stand right there in the doorway. I had the phone, I dropped the phone. I was acting like I was looking for something. And I was like, I need to go to the restroom. I was trying to go to the restroom. He let me go to the restroom. As soon as I was about to whip it out and use the restroom, he stuck me in the head with a butcher knife. And I was playing with it, and I fell in the tub and I was playing with it because I was trying to pull it out, but it wouldn't budge.
Ow. That's 9 years old with a butcher knife in your head. You tried to pull it out, and he's conscious to talk about this. It's all about energy.
CJ was taken to the hospital that night. Meanwhile, Sierra Dotson says she was sleeping at her relative's house, and that saved her life. She found out about the killings the next day. She says she was taken to protective custody with her uncle. At the time, he had not been arrested.
They didn't know who did it at the time, so they had to pick me up because it had to protect the custody. That's when I left in. Once to protect the custody, my uncle was in protective custody with Jesse Dawson. And we had 10 police officers outside the room. She called us back 10 minutes later. We sent the news, and my uncle's up on her. That's who killed him the whole time.
Jesse Dotson is now asking the...
So she had to... He was the only living adult relative, if I'm not mistaken. So she had to ride with him. That's... Man, and like... Shout out to these young people having the courage to come out and talk about this like they are. It seems like you can never be normal after going through something like that. Not saying they're not normal. You know what I'm saying? You could never go back to what you were before it happened. I don't feel like. I can't talk about it. I haven't been through anything remotely close to that. But yeah, I can just feel their energy. Like they seem like they've come a long way from it. Damn.
Court to set aside his conviction and sentence. The 249-page petition argues improper police tactics and false testimony, claiming CJ's testimony was altered by drugs.
I know he did it, and I seen him, and all he doing is lying to the media, the blogs, just to get out and do more killing.
Today, CJ and Sierra Dotson released balloons to remember their loved ones, exactly 16 years later.
Just to let them know that they ain't forgotten. They still here with me.
In South Memphis, Alan Self, WREG, News Channel 3.
Yeah, man, that's just something. We can't overlook that when it happens like that. I knew about the kid. I never brought him up, but I knew he was still here. You know, I knew a young lady used to teach his. That was one of his teachers. So, yeah. But to hear from him like that he has the courage to talk about his moments like that. He's done some revealing and reflecting on it. Shout out to him and his sister. Shout out to him. Help them out if y'all see them. They need anything. Show that we are a community. And leave them alone at the same time, too. If you ain't trying to help, don't mess. No, y'all like that. All right. So, I get to the next story, right? Remember I warned y'all about a few things, right? This is an experiment. See, I didn't get to talk to y'all last week, but I remember the AT&T went out, right? The phones went out, Cricket and AT&T or whoever. They didn't work. We thought that was random, right? Okay. Remember what I said about this, though, right? Was it random? Maybe. I know damn well it wasn't random, right? Depends on who you ask. Did he just put that big 6 out there just... That's all you had to play? So you just go out and put the 5 out, right? You just were playing. He was being strategic in it. So did the phones go out, random act, or all part of the big plan? Just like the phones went out, next thing you know, Facebook, IG, they go out. Yeah. Preview of what's to come. A preview of things to come. They need to know exactly how you're going to react to it. When I say they, we can get into that too. I know many people don't like us to say they. But remember I talked about the algorithm. Talked about actions, reaction. People panicked. Lots of people lost their mind. I didn't give a damn about. I didn't even know Facebook was I ain't know Facebook or IG was out. I ain't care either. And the phone's going out. Man, I found that out later because mine actually didn't go out though. But I wouldn't have cared really like these people about the internet. I would want to check on my family. That would be the main thing. But many people are upset about the internet. So I understand why everybody was mad about Facebook and IG going. They know.
Of Facebook followers today who had trouble logging in after the social media giant went down without warning. WRG's April Thompson shows us what went wrong and the impact it had on those who rely on social media every day.
Like I said, it is the time to detach. You don't do it now, you can wait, and then they'll take it away from you. You've already been addicted to it. But social media addiction, something coming for that. It's probably gonna be worse than COVID. Just like that was all playing, if you ask me.
The day got off to a blank screen for many who turned to social media Tuesday morning, leaving them asking, where's my Facebook and Instagram?
I tried getting on Instagram and it said couldn't load the feed. I was like, what's wrong? And then my friend, he was like, hey, Facebook and Instagram's down. I'm like, what in the world?
Facebook service. See,
you was just putting down the big 5 with a 4-4-2 just to keep your hands. I don't know what else to play. I'm just going to play something. Meanwhile, it was all a setup.
This went down around 9:30 Tuesday morning. Those trying to sign on were automatically logged off. And when they tried to log back in, nothing.
It is kind of strange how it's down, and I'm assuming because, Facebook and Instagram are connected, that my Instagram was down.
For many, it's a big inconvenience. But for those who have built a business and brand around the social media sites, it's much more.
people use Instagram as like a livelihood to an extent. So, I mean, I know even just an hour is enough for them to lose revenue or lose just money in general.
Facebook responded early on, saying it was aware people were having trouble accessing services and they were working on it. The service was back after about an hour and a half, but at a time when computer systems are being hacked and cyber attacks are a real threat, the loss, even temporarily, of something many have come to rely on can give everyone pause.
Oh my God, I've been hacked. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like the white chicks. Nobody care about that, man. That's not important, bro. Like, people were panicking about thinking that their pages got hacked. Do people really use this social media for like making money? You're saying like content creator. I think the average person is just on there with like pictures and photos of what they do. It's no panic, right? So, like I said, I use this to go with the domino. Do we think this was random? Many do. Because as long as they got their accounts back, everything's okay.
I was very surprised. I was like, what? It's like, you know, AT&T, how they went down a couple days ago. I was like, what in the world's going on?
Facebook still hasn't indicated just what went wrong. April Thompson, WREG News.
Facebook still hasn't indicated just what went wrong. Because it went so right. Plan is perfect. Yeah. I wonder how many people really didn't care about it. Because I know Oh yeah, so we don't have long. My bad, y'all. I should have been open the phone. Anybody wants to talk, try the phone line. You can call during this last story that we're gonna share. Because I'm sure somebody may want to comment on TJ Davis. She was doing an interview. And they're talking about Connect 901. They're talking about what her plans for the future. And Connect 901. They want to connect all the cameras. They want you to sign up for certain cameras so they can connect everything they're looking for. Permanent. So, remember, I thought about Connect 901 reminds me of the first Purge. You haven't seen it. The first Purge where first place that they tried these things out were in the hood. Right? So usually the project was a project, experiment, right? So usually things are experimented on in the inner city because don't nobody give a damn about the inner city. So they'll try something out. And this is a test. This is a test to see if they can get away with it. This is how I feel. Like, how far can they go? Because nobody cares. You don't have a city council meeting with you don't have a town hall meeting. Orange Mound ain't got no town hall meeting. Got the Grove, Orange Mound, South Memphis, North Memphis. Y'all don't know what the other community is doing right next to you. So we can experiment on them as much as we want because you don't have a community. You lack communication. So why not try some things out? Hey, let's get that. You know what creates this also? Lack of communication and that good old F word. Fear. So if you think that, someone's going to break in my house, ma'am, we just want to get your camera so we can make sure that this doesn't happen. Oh, sure you can. I feel safer now, knowing damn well that doesn't prevent anything from happening. But now we got access, more access than we already had. On the other hand, they already got all the access that they need anyway. So, I mean, they're asking you for permission to use your camera. If it's connected to the Wi-Fi, trust me, they already have access to every camera. Some even without Wi-Fi. We all know that everything that has smart before it is connected to the same brain. Smartphone, smart TV, smart watch, Smart vacuum cleaner, smart light. One source, one brand, one information source. How smart is that hard drive? How much information does that have? Anyway, Connect 901. Just thought I'd let y'all know that. So there's nothing you can prevent anyway. But they want to know if you're going to let me do it. Well, I already did it, right? Now I want to know, are you going to give me permission? Do I have to take it? If I don't have to take it, that's even better. If you're going to give it to me, cool. I see you. Well, yeah, we got these hats coming. I know I ain't said nothing. I know everybody seen the Mob Stars hat. Oh, yeah, smart cars, too. Most definitely. You gonna let that car, Chat Mob, y'all gonna let a smart car drive for y'all? Would y'all let the car drive for you? I know you smarter than that, right? Let's check this out. Our last story today before we get out of here, y'all. CJ Davis talking about Connect Memphis and her plans for the future.
In actual news, since the pandemic, crime has ramped up across the nation, city, Memphis, and beyond. But with just a few clicks online, you could become part of the solution. The Memphis Police Department wants residents and businesses to connect to this crime-fighting tool. Joining us now to discuss that and more, Police Chief CJ Davis and Deputy Chief Joe Oakley. Now, CJ, I did not expect you today, so this is a pleasant surprise. I really appreciate you coming.
Absolutely.
The Deputy Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, so what you came here to talk about, why do you want to just push this Connect program, and what is it?
So Connect to Memphis is really a replication of models from across the country and other cities. We all travel. We've all seen the camera networks in major cities, and people sometimes wonder, are these camera networks really working for crime reduction? And they absolutely do. Many of the cities that I've worked in, we've used technology, video footage to help not just to investigate crimes, but also prevent crimes. And so Chief Oakley has taken the charge. When I first came to the city, that was one of the initiatives that I wanted to roll out to make sure that we were partnering with our private sector entities and tapping into private sector cameras so that we would have more tools to investigate crimes.
Okay, and so you do the day-to-day, working with the businesses. Can you talk to me about how this is transforming the situation? Because we have had businesses cry out saying that they're really struggling with the crime that's happening in their businesses.
Right, well, Connect Memphis is a great public-private partnership for our business owners and homeowners to help us prevent crime and solve crime. So if you go to the website, you can register your cameras, your home cameras or your business cameras, or you can integrate. You can buy a core off of our site and hook it up to your camera at home or your business.
I think this will help after the fact, right? After the crime's already been committed and you're deemed helpless or spread out on the floor, then they take the videotape out and run it back, put it back into the database so they can find the person that did it. Better connect. I'm sure the cameras can recognize people like easily. They're already in the system. This is, if you want to allow, you can do anything you want if you have people afraid. All right, if I can sell you fear, I can sell you anything I want. Because I know what you're afraid of. Now I know what controls you. You're so afraid of crime, I can do anything I want at this point. For the people that aren't committing crime, it's probably like 5%, 5 to 10% of people committing crime. So the other 90, 85, 90% of people that aren't are completely afraid of that small amount. And that allows laws to be passed, new programs to come in. I'm here to protect you. It's 2024. We still think that these programs are going to protect you. That's why I always talk about go to those small towns. We know who lives in the small towns. It ain't us. But if they won't let that be a police town because they run their town. They have the community. They run their land. Saying, do you really need more police policing you, helping you out, giving more surveillance and doing all? Do you really need that? That's the real solution. Do you really need more smart cameras than we already had? It was about footage and surveillance and cameras. In 2024, that prevented crime. We shouldn't have any crime because there's a camera everywhere. Cell phone, they got footage, they got people. Come on, stop.
And we want to integrate the outside cameras. You know, we don't want what's going on inside. And several of our businesses, especially, I won't mention the name, but one of our liquor stores that we're all familiar with had a rash of burglaries. So they bought one of our cores, put their cameras on it. So now we can see their parking lots. And let's say if a burglar alarm goes off at that place, automatically Real-Time Crime Center can see the cameras. They can see who's doing what. You know, it's a good officer safety tool too. So we're going to know what the suspect is wearing, if he's armed, what kind of car, how many. And this is a great tool to assist us in apprehension should a crime occur. Yeah. So we're encouraging all of our businesses to go to Connect Memphis, and then our homeowners, if they register their cameras with us, we're going to know that they have a camera at home. And then if we have a crime occur in the neighborhood, we'll send them an email to ask them to check their cameras, and if they have footage, to download it and send it to us. That way our detectives don't have to go door to door. So we have around 6,400 registered cameras and right at 800 integrated cameras.
As a person that speaks for the people, see, this is why you gotta have people like me at these meetings. Not me, but minds like myself. I say, good and damn well ain't nobody finna download no footage and get it to you. Come on now, bro. That's why I'm saying people always like, there's a no snitching clause in Memphis that people don't want to tell anything. No, nobody want to lose their life trying to help your ass. So if they do, are you gonna protect me? So it's best for them to stay out of it anyway. Let alone you talking about downloading something and it's not in this town. Maybe in another town, in another place somewhere else, but within our culture, if you really know Memphis, that's not. I don't care about somebody saying I'm being negative. I'm being real. Not being negative. I'm trying to come with the real solutions.
So we're kicking it off, and we want our public's help to help us get the crime down in the city of Memphis.
Buster's Liquors.
Yeah,
I'm
Buster's.
That's what, because that was the business you didn't mention. I don't know.
Right.
Great partnership.
Yeah,
with us.
Absolutely.
We love them.
Absolutely.
When it comes to Buster's Liquor, wouldn't a better question be, why would somebody steal liquor anyway? You just put more cameras up and put more police.
And I will just share that we've had great success with video footage from residential cameras.
Okay.
A few months ago, we had a situation where there were 3 victims, 3 different young ladies, teenagers, that were actually walking to and from school that were sort of preyed upon by an individual, and one of them was actually caught by this individual who attempted to sexually molest that young lady. But if it wasn't for 88 different Ring cameras in that area,
wow,
we were able to put that footage together without knocking on 88 doors. We were able to ask individuals to share their footage, and we actually apprehended the suspect because we identified the vehicle, identified the time, identified the victims in the video footage as well. And that was a classic example of how the camera network can help us solve crimes.
See, I just gotta be real. Vince Davis, it took 88 cameras to recognize one person. He changed clothes 87 times. I'm just being real. Maybe I'm too real for TV. Not too real for YouTube.
And prevent crimes.
And what about the privacy part? There was, I saw a New York Times article where someone was ejected from public housing because there was some type of government camera involved. Can you just explain what this means to people concerned about privacy?
Right. Well, we've heard it's Big Brother. Actually, it's not. We're only wanting cameras that you want us to have access to. So a homeowner or business can limit what we see and when. So if we do go in to retrieve footage of a crime, it leaves a time and date stamp on who came in and got it. And just the main thing is we don't have access to anything that you don't want us to have access to.
We don't have control over it. It's an ask. That's all it is. It's really an ask. And it's not an infringement, because what we want to do is make sure that what we are viewing or need to view is public space. It's no different than somebody having a cell phone outside, taking videos of public space.
Chief Davis, so I saw how the Deltas, you're a member of the Delta sorority. I saw how the Deltas have been embracing you. Right now, you're interim police chief after being police chief. And so I believe there's a 6-month period. And how have you been doing, and what is something that you would like for the community to hear from you as you are looking to remain chief?
Well, this is one of the projects that, I think is huge for the city. This is the type of intervention and modernization that as a chief that has been, experienced in other cities, bring to the table. And I have a great team that has been agile and helping to impact change. We do have crime problems in the city, but we all have to take ownership of the crime problems that exist in Memphis. And as a chief, we have to partner with our community members, we have to partner with our neighborhoods and other agencies that have a responsibility to help us bring crime down. And I think we're doing an excellent job right now. We've got 30% reductions in auto thefts. We put a plan in place last year, and we have seen that plan work.
30% reduction in auto theft for the first quarter of the year. Maybe so. I haven't heard about the news having towards the end of the year last year or the middle of the year, we had whole entire parking lot. I ain't heard it in a couple of weeks. Maybe I just haven't heard it.
We can't continue to just respond to crime.
30% reduction since when? Because I just what's the since 2011, or because I know 2011 was really when crime was really low here.
Yeah. In 2011 we had 2,500 officers, and it really made a difference. It really made a difference. We have under 2,000 officers right now, and so we're really trying to do the same, really more work, because the demand is higher. But we've had a 30% reduction in auto thefts, and that's huge for us because we're really concerned about making sure that when people go to a restaurant, when they go to the FedEx Forum, that they walk outside and their car is still there. So we're working with the juvenile system because a lot of our vehicles have been stolen by juveniles. It's a dangerous sort of engagement to be involved in that type of activity. And so I say that we continue to do the work, we pay attention to the numbers, and make people feel like crime is going down. We have seen great success in the last several months, and crime is actually down as it relates to property crimes, and even our violent crime is down. Homicides, on the other hand, are a crime that is very, very hard to put your arms around because people are inside businesses or inside their homes. Domestic violence is something that has really been on the uptick too. And
I agree with her on that. I told you, that's one of the first things I mentioned. I got one of my homies is a sheriff. He just recently retired. Somebody I've been known for a long time. And he told me, look, he said, Harley's nothing we can do about homicide. That happens with someone that you trust. A random person wouldn't be able to get that close to you without you being aware, like, why are you getting that close to me now? But it has to be someone you're comfortable with, some family member, close friend, friend of the family, whatever. And then they're close enough to commit the crime, kill you, right? So the police can't do anything about that anyway, but investigate it after the fact. That's what I'm saying. I'm always about preventing it from happening to me. I guess that's my area. Police are there to try to figure out what happened and then, serve the consequence to the person that did.
Guns everywhere in our community.
There are some people who have felt that you almost had a mark on you before you got here. A gun being stolen from your car, your home that you were moving into being vandalized and burglarized. What were your thoughts when that was happening? And what do you do to bring the rank and file together with you?
Well, and the rank and file, I think, have felt the spirit of change in our department. And I think if you really dig deep into the rank and file, I talk to them on a regular basis, and they support change. We can't keep doing things the same way we've done them in the past. And I think that makes me more human, that I, along with everybody else that doesn't wear uniforms on a day-to-day basis, we're subjected to the same types of, criminal activity, which makes it even more personal for us as leaders and as police officials, that we want to do something about it.
Do you feel that you being the first female in this role, it was interesting because it was director up until you became the chief. I don't know what that means. I just know that there was a name change.
Right.
But being a female, the first female in this role, talk to me about how that has felt. I know that the mayor.
All right. We get it. We get it. But yeah, before we get out of here, there's a lot of relevant news. A lot of things happen. I always like the same people always in the top news within the city. Mayor, the police chief, stuff with Jesse Dotson. There's so many stories. It's Memphis. How's everybody feeling about the first quarter of the year, first 3 months in Memphis? Seems like I said the council and the mayor are very, very active. Very, very active. But yeah, appreciate everybody rocking with us. We won't miss next week. We'll be here Wednesday night. Get back into the flow of things. Won't be missing any shows. And should have a great guest. Got a lot of guests coming up. Great guests. Surprises too. Might be surprised by some people that are coming by the mob. But yeah. Chat mob, I see y'all. Okay. You agree that that could prevent crime? I'm all for it. Hey, I don't really say prevent. I'm gonna say this before I go. I'm not really like, hey, stop crime. Crime isn't my focus. That's not my focus. My focus is the people in the mind. If you feel like focusing on crime is your solution to things, hey, so be it. I can't make you, see that different. But I feel like I'm not really like, let's just make the jails harsher. I think that comes from a person that's dealing with, that person has some problems, some issues internal. You want to see people locked up. It's just something about that conversation. It's like, man, they gotta lock all their asses. I was like, are you really trying to help somebody? Anyway, it's just your misery being, pushed out on the world. So I'm not really for that. I'm really trying to fix this, especially when it comes to our people. You know what we've been through, and I don't think we really understand that this is all we need. This is all we got to focus on. We got to detach ourselves from all this stuff, man. A lot of these issues that we're having is because we're trying to be of this world, and we're bigger than the world. We're bigger than the world. Nothing here really matters, man. All of these things can be replaced. What are you giving your energy to? That's what I'm all about. And once you start giving your energy to yourself, everything will be better. That's just my opinion. Anyway, it's the end of the show. Memphis Over Bull live. We'll be back next Wednesday for another real conversation with real people. Chat Mob.